Silo is a delightful surprise, popping up on Apple TV Plus out of nowhere and managing to successfully capture the tone and feel of the World Trilogy, a dystopian series of books that blend mystery and drama together into a cocktail of must-watch TV. If you finish watching this one and are looking for alternate picks, we've combed through the archives and saved you the hassle with our top 10 picks that aren't spin-offs or set in the same universe. As always, let us know your favourites in the comments and which of these you've watched. So without further ado, let's start the countdown. 1899 is the latest show from the brilliant minds behind Netflix's Dark. Although advertised as a German series, the diverse cast at the helm of this one swing back and forth between Cantonese, German, Portuguese, English and more. The diversity makes complete sense though, and comes in the form of a group of migrants who leave London on a steamship called the Kerberos. They're determined to make a new life for themselves in New York. However, on the way, the Kerberos encounters another migrant ship long abandoned for months in the ocean called the Prometheus. The more they probe deeper into this strange ship, the more sinister, disturbing and horrific the mystery becomes. What starts as a simple voyage soon escalates into so much more, as every passenger begins to question the nature of their own reality. Do be warned though, Netflix have axed this series before it received a complete ending, so it's another cliffhanger, but this definitely has some standout elements despite that. The Society is essentially a modern day spin on Lord of the Flies. In true Netflix fashion though, The Society feels slightly overlong across its 10 episodes and could have done with some tighter editing. The story here though begins with a strange smell descending over an American town as various kids return from a school trip. They soon come to realise all the adults are missing though, and even stranger still, the town is now inexplicably surrounded by thick, lush forestry. When the smell finally disappears, the kids realise that their town holds small differences that play a bigger part in the plot further down the line. The kids in the Society predictably descend into a heady cocktail of teen angst and melodrama. Between the constant bouts of partying and having sex though, the group do come together and try to figure out what's happened. Or do they? Do be warned though that the Society was cancelled by Netflix during the middle of 2020 and as such does not have a conclusion. Still, it's a fun ride up until that point. 2018 sci-fi series Nightflyers revolves around a crew of scientists embarking on a mission to investigate a mysterious alien signal. However, this soon turns into a claustrophobic nightmare as those on board start to turn on one another. Heavily influenced by The Thing, this series does require you to suspend your belief a fair amount. The characters in particular may leave you scratching your head a little at their illogical actions. But despite that, there's a moody, gripping atmosphere that will definitely keep you watching until the very end. This series should do the trick for those looking for a tantalising mystery that mirrors that seen in Silo. Based on the 1932 novel of the same name, Brave New World is a brave reimagining of that book, which will inevitably divide the fan base between those who like and those who loathe this series. The story takes place in a near-future dystopia known as New London. At first glance, the city looks like a utopian paradise, with three main rules governing everyone: no privacy, no family, and no monogamy. This city operates on a basic hierarchical level of command, with the director and alphas in control, while the epsilon workers and gamma serve those above them. All of this operates flawlessly thanks to a constant stream of emotion inhibiting pills known as soma. While the majority unquestionably follow these rules, the faint glimmers of a rebellion start to appear. When an upper alpha member known as Bernard is called to a crime scene, he immediately starts to question everything around him. The series merges some interesting ideas alongside a compelling first season, and there's something endearing about this world too that will keep you watching through some of the slower moments, making it well worth sticking it out for the long haul. Ascension is a fascinating series that completely changes the game with a big twist at the end of its first episode. Playing out as a character-driven mystery, Ascension's real strength lies with its ensemble cast. The story itself takes place on a spaceship, in the middle of a century-long mission to populate a new world. However, a young woman's murder on board changes everything, as a group begin to question everything around them, including their prime directive. I won't spoil anything more, but this one has some solid murder mystery elements across its 3 episodes, but despite its short runtime, this one certainly entertains. Based on Michael Crichton's campy 1973 novel, Westworld is anything but cheesy sci-fi. In fact, Westworld is a heady, thought-provoking puzzle box full of intriguing ideas and challenging themes. At the heart of this lies a theme park known as Westworld, where robot inhabitants serve their human hosts' every desire. But what would happen then if those robots start to gain sentience? This question consumes large parts of Westworld, and while the later seasons do lose sight of what made the show so special, season 1 in particular is about as close as you could get to a perfect sci-fi series. If you're in the mood for mind-bending sci-fi with a twist, this one should definitely be added to your watch list. Orphan Black creator Graham Manson mans the engines of this serial adaptation of the movie sporting the same name. With the new crew on board, this 1001 carriage train utilises elements of a whodunit early on, before evolving and growing into something more action orientated and exciting as the seasons progress. The story takes place in a frigid post-apocalyptic wasteland, and at the centre of this conflict lies the same hierarchical class issues as the source material, teasing a possible rebellion on the horizon. With biting winds and an icy chill that can freeze you in an instant, the only sanctuary comes in the form of a high-speed train circling the globe. With the train segmented into different classes, the tailies and third class are fed scraps and given little light or hope. By comparison, the bright, lavish carriages in first class play host to powerful and influential men and women living the high life. Naturally, something has to give, and when it does, this makes for a very easy recommendation. If thematic depth is your jam, The Leftovers is definitely worth checking out. Running for 3 seasons, the story picks up just after a global event called the Sudden Departure. This inexplicable event sees the disappearance of 140 million people, or 2% of the world's population to be precise. Following that, mainstream religions decline, which paves way for a number of cults to emerge. The most notable among them is the Guilty Remnant. The story only grows more intriguing and interesting over time as thematic questions come to the foreground. However, to give much more away about this would be a disservice to the series, but if you haven't already, you should definitely add The Leftovers to your watch list. Outer Range is a moody, atmospheric neo-noir thriller. The story takes place on a large expanse of land in Wyoming, US, split by a dividing fence between 2 rival farms. When Royal uncovers a bizarre mystery on the western expanse of his land, he's unwittingly sucked into a sci-fi bending plot that changes his life forever. This is inevitably intertwined with a brewing rivalry between the Abbott and Tillerson families. Royal's sons, Perry and Rhett, end up fighting with Wayne Tillerson's boys at a bar that night, with Trevor and Perry trading blows. When tragedy strikes, an investigation is launched against the Abbott family. Fronting this is Sheriff Joy, who becomes a more central part of this story as the episodes tick by. But it's Royal's mystery that drives the story forward, and as the episodes progress, we soon start to realise that all is not as it should be. Produced by Alex Garland, Devs revolves around a girl called Lily working at a tech company called Amaya. When her boyfriend Sergey is invited to join the top secret branch there known as Devs, everything changes. Unfortunately, Sergey stumbles onto something he shouldn't, and his disappearance sparks some big questions, which Lily aims to answer. While the story is a little overlong and sags in the middle a bit, the thought-provoking questions and moody atmosphere are enough to stick it out until the end. There's an absolutely incredible musical score attached to this one too, which is easily the big highlight of the show, while the acting throughout is exemplary. If you're looking for a solid binge watch, this one should whet the appetite. So there we have it, our 10 TV show alternatives to watch when you've finished watching Silo on Apple TV+. So what did you think of our picks? Do you agree? Are there any notable omissions? Or do you think we're way off the mark? Either way, let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Smash a like or subscribe to the channel, your support is very much appreciated. I'm Greg Wheeler, and from all of us over here at The Review Geek, we'll see you on the next video.